Good morning, everyone. It's a Friday. How's your week going? The card's been reading pretty good for you guys. Anybody relating to what's been going on? I'm like, whew, okay, hold on. It's been something else. Alright, let's get some of this moving. And let's get some of this moving. We got transitions going on. We have acceptance going on. We have retrogrades going on. We have a lot going on this week. And hopefully, like the last few weeks, starts out kind of intense and then it kind of mellows out towards the weekend, which is not always the case, but seems to be kind of a little bit of a trend here. Get this little guy going real good. Yep, we like that. We are just going to get the energy moving. So, this is Friday, and we have been working through the week. We've been working with the Milky Way, the big picture, small picture. We've been working with the mountains and strength, and we've been working with childhood and that innocence, kind of checking out a little bit, kind of looking at the finer details of life, those things that inspire us, that awe us, that maybe we've stepped too far back and not, we call it a tree or we call it a flower, but we're not giving enough pause to consider the absolute awe of how it's created, its essence, its energy that it shares with us. So just kind of keeping all of that in mind. We're going to do some self-care because it's been a week. A lot of stuff going on. Good stuff, some very challenging things. This has been interesting. So we're going to work with that. So earth energy or earth magic is what we pull off of to set the theme, and then I also pull the theme for each day of the week, and then I keep track of that. We'll find out what the card is for this week here in just a moment. We are doing some self-care. We've had 2 retrograde issues that are going to be with us for a little while longer. We have Mercury that's not going away until November 3rd. That animosity, aggression, miscommunication, all of that stuff that goes with that. And then we have Mars that only it goes retrograde every couple of years, but both of them at the same time has been a little bit intense. So, and that's going to stay with us until the 13th of November. So we are going to work on flow like water. Flow like water. That's a good one. That's that strength in water, the persistence of water, the not fighting things, just going with that flow. So that might be a good one to add to our strength of today. Move through it, observe it, change it, but it's the subtle consistencies of it. Our theme card for today is a 3 of Needles. And so there might be 3 of Needles. There might be some heartbreak and maybe some betrayal going on that we need to be aware of. We may or may not find out about it today, but more than likely we will. Needles are swords, so it's fast moving. We need to take care of ourselves as we work through our feelings on this one in healthy ways. And especially, and just being mindful, is it miscommunication, being, maybe an avoidant tactic, is, especially with the retrogrades that are in play right now, that miscommunication, that fast moving, maybe we speak before we think, might be in play that could cause more damage than is really needed. So just be mindful. Maybe it's something that just doesn't even have to happen. So maybe somebody is doing the same thing, and we need to have the present mind awareness to understand that maybe they're not able to rein it in. Maybe they're speaking out of turn, and we need to make sure that we're not over responding to their response. So just, that might be something to take into place. It might not be a betrayal or a heartbreak. We want to be careful with that. Make sure that we really understand what's going on before we jump to a conclusion. We got a little bit of movement going on over here. Some nice energy going on. Wake up. All right, so in our challenge position, we have the Fool, and the Fool, that's a new adventure. We like that, at least I do. An enjoyment of the unknown, a little bit of maybe naivety going on, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, that the innocence of a child, we just don't want to be foolish about it, so make sure that we're just make sure that we're checking before we just jump into something. That can be a fast-moving energy. We've had a lot of fast-moving energy this week, but those new adventures can be very enticing and very fun. So our energy to use today is the Queen of Needles. This is the Queen of Swords. Again, a fast-moving energy that's going on there. The Queen of Needles, we need to be fair and practical, sensible. The Queen of Needles, she makes up her own mind, and she generally does it fairly swiftly, but is fair about it. So just remembering how strong we are, that we can get through all of this transition that's going on, a lot of transition in the last few days. And then the energy to avoid today is the Page of Potions, and we want to remember, and this is in shadow, and we just want to remember potions are the cups, and that emotion. So challenges with emotions today. So we want to be careful, with that heartbreak and betrayal that the Three of Needles is kind of indicating, working through those emotions. So that might be a little bit of a challenge. There could be a childish naivete, kind of here and kind of here. It's interesting how this kind of comes together on Fridays and Saturdays, and how it has really pulled that learning experience. This is our learning attribute for the week. So it's interesting how this consistently ties in towards the end of the week. And then we might need a little bit of a different emotional outlet. Maybe that's playing into this new adventure. And kind of keep in mind too how we've said, don't start any new projects and that sort of thing. This is an adventure, an experience, not a project. And remember when I said that it's good during this period. If you do start a new project, it's something that really just needs to fall into your lap. It happens so naturally, it's like breathing. Where if we're starting something else, we might want to pause until at least after November 3rd. We have the 10 of Candles, and this is our positive focus for today. And we're succeeding with everything. We're moving forward. So even though we have little hiccups along the way, we are generally moving in the direction that we want to be moving. Just keep working at it. If we're feeling overwhelmed, it's time to delegate. With all of the transition that's been going on this week, we've already had some indication that we need to reassess, reevaluate, reprioritize, and anything that we're feeling overwhelmed with, either get rid of it or redelegate. So take on more of that leadership position as you're growing through it, and it helps others grow through their stuff as well. So that I think that's kind of it for today. I think that's good. Thank you, Spirit Guides, for your message that you've shared with us today. And thank you guys for joining in today. Please do subscribe below as we go through and open this new channel up online here. And go ahead, and if you have questions, you can comment below. You can also go over to the Etsy page. The link is below. There's additional readings that are over there. I'm going to get examples of some of the readings. I don't know that I'm going to get into too much personal detail, but I'm going to give some examples of some of the other readings. I'm just very cautious with some of that. Because of privacy is such a huge thing with me as we go through and we do. There's just such a personal element to this, and I'm just always very mindful of that. So I'll just kind of maybe I'll get a couple of volunteers that are a little bit more open, where I can share a little bit, but let me kind of think about that a little bit. But anyway, thank you so much for joining, and enjoy your day.